All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another preview of fall soccer. Today, I have Freehold Boro coach, Coach Ingui. Coach, thanks for joining me.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Now, you just made the list for APP Top 150 coaches. Did you see that?
I did actually. So one of my friends posted it, which I had no clue because I don't really get the APP. But that's a pretty big honor, and that's a big list of coaches of talented.
Yeah, especially some coaches from when I was in school, coaches before that. That's pretty impressive. The history and every sport. It's not just soccer; it's every sport, which makes
Yeah.
it more impressive. When did you start getting into coaching, and what made you get into coaching?
I started pretty much as soon as I could as a high school kid. I played soccer my entire life. Soccer was pretty much my life. I use a saying that I'm not really good at much else besides soccer. I played since I was 3 years old. I was a 4-year letter winner in soccer in high school. I played for Manalapan High School, and then I went off and I played for Hofstra out in Long Island. I tore up my knees there, so I spent 5 or 6 years out there instead of the normal 4. I did some training and coaching out there while I was out there, and then as soon as I got the job at Freehold Boro, I wanted to be part of the staff, so I said I would volunteer, I would help out, I just wanted to be part of it. Luckily, when I first started here, Coach Moses was still coaching, and he had a spot open, and I was able to come on as their assistant.
So what year did you take over as head coach?
2007.
Oh, so that's a pretty good tenure, it seems like there's more turnover these days than when I was in school. I coached Caruso on. He was coaching when I was in school.
He's a staple there.
Yeah. What are some accomplishments Freehold Boro has had since you took over the program?
When I first started, I was handed, and when I say handed, on a silver gold platinum platter, this amazing team that just came off a 21-1 season.
Oh, wow.
We won Shore Conference, we won B North, we won sectionals, and then we tied for the state title when I was assistant. And the year after, we pretty much followed that up, but instead of tying for the state title, we won the state title straight out, which was incredible. And then the year after that, we lost in the finals to Shore Conference. We won B North, we won sectionals, and then we lost in the state finals, the overall state finals. From there, I think we have a couple A North, B North conference titles. We never won another sectional. We made it to the finals of sectionals a couple years ago. But, I mean, we always compete. We always find a way to compete.
Yeah, I saw your team once last year against Freehold Township, and you guys did not give up. You guys fought to the last minute, and said a lot about your team because Freehold Township, loaded with talent, and you guys didn't give up. You guys capitalized on. I thought they had a couple defensive mistakes, and your team was right there to capitalize, and then a beautiful game winner. That shot in overtime was a beautiful game winner.
Yeah, Naomi was actually a freshman that was kind of just coming off the bench at that point, and she made a way to find the back of the net.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot. Talk a little bit about last season, some of the accomplishments you had last year.
Last year, I mean, beating Freehold Township, probably top of the list. We still talk about that all the time. We made the state and Shore Conference tournaments. It was pretty tight at some point, where we were worried that we weren't going to make it, and we ended up pulling it out and was able to find our way in. We went, I think, 2 rounds in each. I can't remember, maybe because I don't want to remember. But last year was a tough season for us. We kind of pulled things together and then fell apart and pulled things together, but also we had probably like 8 or 9 injuries at one point, between concussions and knee injuries and stuff like that. So I think just overcoming those injuries and being able to still have a winning season was a major accomplishment.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Cassie from Ocean Township. She said that the state game, they went to the shootout with you guys. It was a
Oh,
great game.
yeah, it
But,
was.
and I hate when playoffs are decided in shootouts. That to me that doesn't really decide who's the better team, just who's the better shooters that day and what goalie's on top of their game.
Yeah, and it went like way too many rounds, so it
That's
didn't
yeah, she said it.
didn't help to like go back through again. And these poor kids, they're it's not a fun way to end your senior year.
But I want talk about a few of you had how many seniors did you have last season?
I believe it was 6.
Okay. Could you
Um,
talk about a couple of them?
yeah, Gabby Casal was top of our list. She was a freshman starter. In my opinion, she was probably the best player on the field between both teams at most of the games. She was she's just I don't know, like there's just something. You watch Gabby on the field and she's just so passionate and aggressive and dominant, and she's like nose for the ball, and you always see like she's almost like a football player that's like watching her prey and then waiting to pounce, and she's always in the right spot at the right time, and she just always seems to come up with the ball. So she was, she's someone that we're going to really miss on the field this year. Julia Gang is another player. She's a crafty little thing in the middle of the field. She was always our little fireball and, got everybody going. We had Elyse Fuentes, who was up top for us. She's fast. She provided some that offensive spark that we needed. Rachel Moore, she was our sweeper. She's another defensive player that really just saved our butts most of the games. Anything coming through, she was able to just track it down and clear it out. So we have some holes, but I think coming in this year we can fill them hopefully. It's going to take work though.
This season, who do you think is going to take over those leadership roles that your seniors left?
The good news about this year is we have 6 seniors that started on varsity as freshmen. So this is like, if this is a year to do something, we should be able to do it because we are an established team and we have that senior leadership. I think every single one of them really can help and fill those roles and step up. We have Jessie Sakata in the middle of the field. And then we have Lexi Serluco that's going to step into that stopper role that Gabby took. We have Erica Fernandez up top, who again is going to, provide that offensive spark. And we have Mackenzie Quinn, who's going to give us that left wing, outside mid, just flying by the seat of her pants, trying to just take people on and get back defensively. Katie Rogers is in goal for us still, and she was on that, top 200 goalkeepers of all time. She's really just been a staple in the goal for us since freshman year, and she's pulled through for us in a lot of situations. I don't want to forget anybody, but I know I am right now, so let me think for a second. Who else am I forgetting? Oh, Christina Zaquaglio. She is our outside back. She's been there for 4 years for us. Again, just another player that can track the ball and be there in all situations and just make a good tackle when she has to.
Talk about your goalie a little bit. It has to be such an advantage, because she was up there for a couple of awards, right? I think she the all-division goalie she was.
Yeah.
Like you said, she made the list. Top goalies to watch this year. Has to be an advantage because quite a few good goalies graduated last season out of the Shore Conference. So she's going to be up there. Probably contending for for one of all Shore teams. How much of an advantage it is knowing that you have such a solid goalie, back there?
We call it the Boro tradition to always have that goalie. For whatever reason, we are so lucky to have always had, in my tenure, I've always had a goalie. That was never, ever, a concern of mine. And to have Katie back there, it's so reassuring. And I mean, like you said, there's a lot of teams that don't have that goalkeeper that will step up and win. I got a little secret too, is that we have Abby Cowles, who just came back. She was playing DA last year, and since DA folded, she's actually now back with us this year. So between the two of them, I mean, we got it locked down in the goal.
Yeah, talking to another coach who lost one of the best players in the state, he was more concerned about the goalie graduating than the best player in the state.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to find, a reliable, goalie. And, it's good that, that you have one and, the second one, is backup. What's your opinion? A lot of these girls are coming back from DA, which I think is great. When I talked to Julian Laskowskis, when she returned her junior year, because she didn't play sophomore year at St. Rose, she wanted to play with her friends. That's what she missed the most. Do you think that, that's big and, it's going to help a lot of teams, these kids playing with their classmates and, their friends growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a big believer in the DA. They're gonna hunt me down. High school's so important. You're gonna get scouted. You're gonna get seen. If you play on a good travel team, you're gonna go to these showcases. I know the DA is, built to get you recognized.
Yeah.
But these are 4 years of your life you're never going to get back. Yeah. This is such a family. And that's what I say to my girls, like, you're my family. I'm your family. This is your high school career. I think it's definitely going to help a lot of teams. We at Freehold Boro don't technically or typically get a lot of the DA players. We just get the nitty gritty, hardworking girls that just go out and want to have fun and play. So it's not necessarily going to hurt or help us at all, or hasn't hurt or helped us at all. But I think for the other teams that do get those, kids, St. Rose, Manalapan, Marbros, like those kids, yeah, I think it's going to really help them.
Yeah, I think one of the middle towns is getting 3 to 4 players back. So
that's
yeah,
big difference.
Yeah, that is a big difference. Just a few more questions before we wrap up. Who are some players that are flying under radar, or any incoming freshmen that have caught your eye that might make an impact this season?
The freshmen, I want to say there's 2 freshmen that we have. One is Taylor Atkinson. She looks like she can really contribute defensively, maybe even in the midfield role for us. Again, we haven't seen them in games yet, and we're only like a week and a half in. Also, Riley Turner, I think that she can help out as well up top. She came in and she's like banging out these burpees better than I've ever done in my life. So, like that power and that strength and that hard work, dedication, I think that's something that's the Boro way. So whether or not this year, but definitely in the future. Naomi is going to step right into that sweeper spot. So she's going to help in the back for us. Daniela Cateo's back. She's footwork and control and the way that she sees the field is really going to make a difference for us in the middle. And then Peyton Quinn, who again, she's got her good head on her shoulders and she can see the field. She's always knows where the ball is going to go next. So we got a lot of players that are going to make a difference. Oh, and Sammy Matisoff, she came in. She looks great on the outside mid. She's gonna give people problems out there.
Yeah, it's something you can't teach is anticipating where the ball's going to be and stuff. You just gotta you either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about your schedule real quick. You're in a pretty tough division. How do you feel about playing teams back to back?
This is something that I've kind of went back and forth with. I think I like it because it's easier to plan. It's easy. There's days in between too. So, you play, you fix your mistakes, you work on that at practice, and then you go right back to it the next day. And it's not like you have to revisit it all over again and remember this player and that player. So I think strategically, it's going to help. I think it's also hard to beat the same team twice, especially in the same week. I don't know. It's a toss-up. Like I'm curious to see how it's going to work. And like you said, we're never really given a break. We're in divisions. Like last year was A North, and the divisions they're tough. And B North is no different. Like, we play Wall, who, you know, they're just that DA, you know, big travel team powerhouses. St. John Vianney, same thing. Like, they come in strong. So I think it could be a benefit for us, but I'm skeptical to see how it's gonna work.
Yeah. One of the last questions how did you handle, you know, Freehold Boro handled the phases that were rolled out by the state, you know, back in July and August?
So the way we handled it, I personally think Freehold Regional is doing a fabulous job. I think that they are really being cognizant of protecting everyone and doing like the right thing for everyone. You know, summer practices for me weren't a big concern, but we did do a team camp, and the guy who ran my team camp, it was completely optional. You know, did everything by the book, and did the COVID forms, and you know, everything was just very straightforward, and everybody was protected. I think the September 14th date was interesting. You know, right now we're like, I say to my coaches, I'm like, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to practice and get in the conditioning. And we were hoping that our kids would come in better shape, but you know, they're kids, and they, you know, some of them didn't. So I think what we're working with right now is we're protected, and I think they're doing a good job with the social distancing, and we're really stressing that if you're not in the field, you're wearing a mask and you're 6 feet apart, and then when you're on the field, you're at it, you're going at it. So I think Freehold Regional did a really good job with it. I hope that we can stay on the right path, but you know, anybody's guess.
Last question: what are goals you have, you know, for your team this year? I know, like, postseason, who knows what that's going to look like, but you know, just for the regular season, some goals you have set, or you think you're going to set for the team.
I'm going to set scoring as a goal. Scoring has been an issue for us, so we've always been a very defensive and defensive-minded team, and we've always relied on our, you know, solid defensive shape. But I want to score goals. Like, I don't want it to come down to, you know, 2 minutes left and we're 0-0 and we got to score a goal, or, you know, we're up 1-0, but, you know, now we're on our heels. Scoring goals is definitely going to be a goal for us. And, you know, just working hard every single game, like not having those blips, like just going straight through and not having to say, all right, let's go, let's pick it back up. Those two things, I think if we really focus on that, we should be okay.
All right, Coach. I appreciate you joining me, and you know, I look forward to. I'm trying to map out my schedule now, what games I'm going to hit and stuff.
Awesome.
It's tough when everybody's playing the same days.
Yeah, it is tough.
But it looks like after the first week, A South, B South, and B Central are on opposite days of the other three divisions.
It looks like they kind of split.
Yeah, but you know, coaches have been telling me they've already done schedule changes, so I don't know. So
I know we're trying to already change that Saturday, the first Saturday game. So
that's the day that seems to be changing.
It's a SAT. It's a SAT day.
Yes, yeah. I forgot what coach told me that, and the fact that they're playing Friday night too, the same team. So, so I think it
should be fun.
Yeah.
If anything else, at least they're playing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Thank God we're going to be getting on the field.
Yep.
All right, Coach. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.